Malachi Toney delivered the ultimate redemption story, catching an 11-yard touchdown pass with less than 2 minutes remaining to lift 10th-seeded Miami to a 10-3 victory over 7th-seeded Texas A&M in the college football playoff. The freshman receiver's game-winning grab erased what could have been a devastating mistake and sent the Hurricanes to face second-seeded Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl on December 31st. Mark Fletcher Jr. was the workhorse all night long, rushing for a career-high 172 yards to help Miami improve to 11-2. His dominant ground performance kept the Hurricanes in control throughout a defensive slugfest that came down to the final possession. Toney's heroic touchdown came just one series after what appeared to be a game-changing mistake by the freshman. He made a reception, but Dalton Brooks knocked the ball loose, and Damian Sanford recovered the fumble on the Texas A&M 47-yard line with about 7 minutes remaining. The turnover gave the Aggies excellent field position and momentum, with the game still tied at 3. A visibly upset Toney sat on the bench surrounded by teammates who encouraged him and tried to keep his spirits up. They reminded him the game wasn't over and that he'd get another chance to make things right. That's exactly what championship teams do when adversity strikes. Miami's defense bailed out their young receiver when Rueben Bain Jr. came up huge on the ensuing drive. The star pass rusher sacked Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed on 2 of 3 plays, forcing a punt and giving the Hurricanes' offense another opportunity to win the game. Fletcher took over on the next possession with a career-long 56-yard run on the very first play, racing downfield and getting Miami to the Texas A&M 30-yard line with approximately 3 minutes remaining. The explosive play completely shifted momentum back to the Hurricanes and put the Aggies' defense on their heels. Miami stuck with what was working, using 4 more Fletcher runs to methodically move into the red zone and set up the game-winning score. The Hurricanes showed patience and trust in their running back, refusing to force anything through the air when the ground game was dominating. That's when Toney got his shot at redemption. Carson Beck took the snap and delivered a short toss to the freshman receiver, who caught it cleanly and dashed into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown. The emotional celebration that followed showed how much that moment meant to both Toney and his teammates who had rallied around him just minutes earlier. Texas A&M still had one final chance to force overtime after the touchdown. Reed and the Aggies' offense took the field, needing only a field goal to extend the game and keep their playoff hopes alive. They drove downfield looking for any opportunity to get into range. But Miami's defense had other plans. Bryce Fitzgerald stepped in front of a Reed pass in the end zone for his second interception of the game, this time ending any hope of an Aggies comeback. The game-sealing pick sent the Hurricanes sideline into celebration mood, while Texas A&M's season came to a crushing end. The victory showcased everything that makes college football special. A young player made a critical mistake, got supported by his teammates, and responded with the biggest play of his life when it mattered most. Fletcher's bruising running style wore down the Texas A&M defense throughout the contest, and Miami's defense made timely stops when they absolutely had to have them. The Hurricanes now advance to face Ohio State in what promises to be an incredible Cotton Bowl matchup. Miami will need another complete team effort if they hope to upset the second-seeded Buckeyes and continue their march toward a national championship.